stim up and kill those off. Might be able to snipe a Colossus. Ooh, sniping that Colossus, and is also working on the one that is under construction. WhiteRa needs to cancel that. Oh, he does not get the cancel off. Or I'm not sure if he got the cancel off. TLO is gonna back out of there safely. Sentry's not quite being able to shoot those down. 2 Marauders also being dropped off there. WhiteRa gonna get his robotics bay back immediately, and TLO is going to continue producing units here. He does have his natural expansion safely secured now, and we do have these SCVs that were formerly idle now gonna continue to make buildings here. Another command center coming up. WhiteRa catching those 2 Marauders out of position, gonna be able to clean those up with his Zealots. Additional gateways coming up for WhiteRa. He is supply blocked. Liquid TLO looking in a phenomenal position there, picking up his 3rd expansion and is going for these additional barracks. We also do have siege tanks and siege mode coming out. We do also have the Starport producing those double medevacs. TLO gonna move down here with 4 Marauders. Gonna see if he's able to do any damage here. Gonna also spot for that expansion, see if WhiteRa has picked up that expansion yet. Duckload still moving around with his observer, gonna make sure that nothing funky is going on the map. Also gonna be able to spot for those expansion timings. And this game is getting quite long and epic here. We do have the Marauders working on the back rocks. Those Marauders stimming and moving back here, gonna try to pick off some pylons there. Gonna get force field, and they're gonna lose 2 Marauders. Not quite losing that Marauder there. 2 Zealots here. We're gonna start slicing away at these units. Ooh, he might actually take out this entire force here. This last Marauder going down without any micro there. The destructible rocks are now coming down, and there's still medevacs chilling here. Oh, a drop happening down here. TLO dropping a bunch of Marauders in the back. Gonna try to scoot out there with this medevac. 2 Stalkers here ready for that. This medevac is now trapped. It can't really move out. It has 20 HP here. WhiteRa is bent on shooting that down. I'm not sure how many units they got killed here, but this main is mining out anyways. TLO is going to wait here with his medevac. We also do have the Templar archives out, and we are researching Storm as well. We do have some High Templar morphing in as well. TLO now picking up his 3rd base. TLO is still waiting out here with his medevac, does not want to get that cleaned up very easily. We do have TLO throwing down a 4th expansion. He really does want to push us into the macro stages of the game, and not quite being able to shoot that medevac down in time. Gonna lose another stalker there, and is gonna stim and try to work on this Twilight Council, not quite being able to take that out. Zealots morphing in just in time as he is researching those Zealot chart legs now. TLO almost completely mined out in his main. WhiteRa as well. WhiteRa is now securing his 3rd base. It is delayed behind TLO's base. A planetary fortress there, making this quite safe. A probe here, as well as a medevac coming in for a drop again. We'll see if those Marauders are able to take out anything. TLO not quite paying attention to that right now, just shooting away at this gateway. We have this command center moving out, and WhiteRa just ignoring that and moving all the way out here. Does want to kill this expansion. If he can get rid of this expansion, he will be quite a ways ahead. He is going to move to the high ground location and use his Colossus to start zapping away at the expansion. We do have the Marauders here getting surrounded by those Zealots. Not quite be able to take those out. No units here, so TLO is going to be able to continue his harassment, and he is bringing his Vikings over here, going to be able to work on these Colossus that are completely unguarded. Oh no, Duckload needs to make sure he does not lose all of his Colossus there. Going to storm those Vikings there, not quite having enough the air defense there. The Marauders did get taken out, and a medevac is just sitting over here. WhiteRa committing to kill this expansion here. The Zealots surrounding it and taking it out. Gonna start moving towards his expansion. TLO stimming and running down here. Gonna see if he can do any damage here. We do see a base trade. Oh, but TLO has those sea shanks in a optimal position. Gonna get a storm off on his SCV line there. All the Marines running down here, target firing that Nexus. might be able to take that down there. WhiteRa reinforcing, storming there. Great storms there. Going to take those Marauders down to very low HP. The Zealots chasing them there. TLO is going to be able to take out that expansion. And we do have them loading up into the medevacs there. Feedback can be used here. We'll be able to take those medevacs out if he does get those feedbacks off. We do have WhiteRa's army moving back. Going to try to deny this army from doing any more damage, and he is running back here, and he does know about this expansion. He's going to try to shut that down. A storm going down on those medevacs. He could very well use feedback. Those Marauders still alive here. A bunch of probes running, scared. The Zealots finally running up here, catching up to the medevacs. Medevacs are going to have to back out of there. This command center now backing out. TLO going to try to re-expand. He's getting another command center. He can use this expansion to try to use this command center to try to secure his back rocks expansion as well. Two Stalkers here being left behind. Do have the medevacs now back here. They're going to start healing up those Marauders. Just 3 Marauders left here. These 2 Stalkers looking for those medevacs. Gonna scout up here and find those 2 Marauders here. Gonna be able to try to clean that up. Marauders do some extra damage against armored, so is gonna be able to take that out. Oh, feedback going down on that medevac. Gonna be able to storm that one Marauder there, and WhiteRa does look like he is moving out to the center again. TLO massing up a bunch of tanks, wants to make sure his natural is completely safe. He is totally oversaturated in here. 2 pages worth of SCVs. Do you have 3 Zealots moving up here? I'm not sure why, doing their own thing. Do have some long distance mining going on. His expansion nexus is finally back up and running. This game does look pretty even right now. We do have both players only on 1 base, or basically only on 1 base. WhiteRa is now ahead at 2 bases, and we do see a massive confrontation here. Those Vikings are basically completely useless except for that one Colossus. He might kill the Colossus and land them to help do extra damage. TLO is trying to move out to take the center gold expansion. WhiteRa might want to do the same thing or engage this position. See if he can do some damage here. Gonna move in with those speed Zealots there. Gonna charge up on the Terran position. The tanks are now just sieging up. All the Zealots now pounding down on those tanks. Gonna take a couple of those out. Still more tanks in the back. WhiteRa moving forward with an Immortal as well. That Immortal does get taken out. All of the Vikings landing and getting taken out. The Archons now morphing in. That's Colossus surviving there. Quite lucky. Gonna be able to move back and hopefully keep his Colossus alive. Those Vikings trying to take those out, but the Stalkers and the Archons doing quite good up front. We have additional reinforcements moving into the front here. We do have a Duckload coming in with a small force here. An EMP going off. We do have Ghosts out now on the field. These 2 Archons still tanking tons of damage, moving up to the front. Going to continue working on these bio units here. We do have a WhiteRa moving in with another storm, storming away tons of SCVs there. And TLO is going to be able to clean up this force and is also doing a drop of his own in the back. WhiteRa looking quite a ways ahead in terms of in terms of expansions and minerals mining here. That Banshee going to get taken out as well. 1 Marauder left here. TLO is going to move this command center once again. He's going to try to secure that gold expansion. He needs to hold this or else he will lose the game. He's going to land this expansion here and maybe make a planetary fortress to help secure that. More Colossus coming out here. We do have WhiteRa trying to get this back expansion saturated, and once again this medevac also backing up over here. WhiteRa moving a bunch of units over here. More Templar is going to use this Colossus on the high ground, going to try to roast away some of those mules. Mules are always a great unit to target. And that single Viking coming out and working on that Colossus, they're going to be able to back out of there. We do have WhiteRa moving forward with his Stormers as well as his Zealots. He might have to engage those Marauders here. A storm going down on the Marauders, taking those Marauders down to critical health there. We might be able to see additional storms here. He does want to get those storms off on the SCVs. The Siege Shank here also trying to guard that expansion. Another planetary fortress morphing in here. WhiteRa still has plenty of minerals at his natural. TLO is completely mined out. We do have this push coming forward. Again, this planetary fortress is done. Zealots moving forward. Going to start working on those Marauders, we do have the Templar here available to storm. Storms do go down. We're going to see those Marauders go down real quickly. We also do have additional Colossus moving up here. We do have a Archon morphing up front as well. More Sea Shanks moving up to the Planetary Fortress, going to try to guard that. These two Planetary Fortresses should be able to hold this position quite strong, although WhiteRa can continue using this ledge here and storming up with the sight range of the Colossus. Colossus now roasting away at those SCVs. TLO looking in horrible shape here, going to start repairing that Sea Shank. Does not want that Sea Shank to die. Storm going down, killing a bunch of SCVs. And as well as the Sea Shank, those Colossus now working on the Planetary Fortress from a safe range. Duckload also taking this expansion here, using a Templar to storm away those Marauders here. Gonna send those Zealots in to do cleanup. He does have to cancel that expansion. We do have WhiteRa moving to the back of TLO's base. TLO only has these few units here. It does look pretty grim for TLO. He needs to continue to mine minerals up at the gold expansion. His natural is getting taken down though. He's going to lose some unit producing structures as a result of this. He's going to gather his army up here. A couple of Zealots charging up here. Going to get slowed down. This Templar not quite having enough energy to storm. WhiteRa going to move his entire army here. Going to charge up against this position. TLO going to move back towards his Planetary Fortress to prevent anything damage to his army. Of more Zealots charging in from the backside. And this game is getting quite epic here. We do have the Archons just pounding away at these Marauders. They have so much health, going to be able to continue charging these locations. Despite the Marauder slow, we have a WhiteRa now mining out his natural expansion. He does need to secure another expansion. Going to continue warping in units down here. This gold expansion is basically completely useless. No SCVs mining there at all. WhiteRa moving just a couple of units into TLO's main, and TLO does call GG, and this game is now over. We do have WhiteRa taking the series, I believe. I've only found 3 games of this, so it must have been a 3v or a best of 3. So TLO does fall to WhiteRa. WhiteRa, I think he is the 2nd ranked player on the ladder. I'm not sure why this game is still going here, but both players did leave. So probably some spectator did stay in here for quite a bit of time, but we do see a win from WhiteRa. Again, this is Aegis, and if you do like what you see here, please do subscribe. This is Aegis signing off, and until next time, good luck, have fun, and God bless.